Hello folks and welcome to my channel. Today we'll be talking about guns. Um, I particularly want to share with you all the difference between particularly two guns. The one that I recently bought and compared to another one. And there's one more comparison. So today I'll be sharing three different guns with you. The core point of this recording is to be able to emphasize on the fact that not everybody would be happy with every gun. It's a well-known fact. We all know that. We all hear about it. But until I really, truly compared and analyzed the results, uh, I became. It's like more of a believer in that. It was not just a saying that okay, you hear it, you understand, experts are saying that and you take it as a fact is one thing, but you personally experience that is a totally different thing. So like I said, I want to start with my newest gun, and then that is the one that I purchased after before the purchase. I actually rented that gun, the same model, and then did lots of shootings, over 500, 600 shootings, rounds of shootings, and then eventually I bought it, and with that I bought 440 rounds so far. It's been very recent, like a couple weeks ago. So the gun that I'm talking about is Smith & Wesson M&P9 M2.0. So let's, first off, safety is always first. I'm going to take the magazine out. I'll rack it, and here you go, and this is empty. So there is no round in the gun, and I will put this somewhere else, kind of way. So I'll be basically sharing my experience shooting with this gun with my M&P9 as opposed to my Glock19. Let's also do the same thing, racking the gun, and there is no magazine in the mag well, and again there is no round in this one. So this is the one primarily that I compared with lots of shootings versus the Smith & Wesson, and I also did some comparison with my 6R P320. Again, there is no magazine in it, and making sure that there is no rounds in the chamber, so we're all safe. Okay, so like I said, I did basically, before I made the decision to go ahead and purchase this gun, like I said, I think 5 or 6 times, 6 separate times, I rented the same model, and easily 600 rounds I shot with that. And since I purchased, like I said, 440 times, so over total 1,000 times I did this shooting. And for the most part, and I was comparing this to these two guns, primarily against Glock19. The Glock19, when I bought that, my intent was that was going to be my EDC, everyday carry gun, and I was actually carrying that. But after I realized that, after I actually discovered this gun, it was just a happenstance. I was with my buddy, and he rented this gun, and he realized that I was shooting with this much better than with any other gun. My accuracy was much better than any other gun, or most of the other guns that I was shooting with so far. And just to kind of give an idea, again, I'm an enthusiast. I'm an amateur. By all means, I'm not a gun expert. I'm not talking with any kind of expertise. I don't claim any kind of expertise in guns. I'm just a gun lover and a gun enthusiast. So far, I own over 32 guns, and if I include the number of guns that I shot with through rental or loaner kind of a style, altogether 45, 70, close to 80 guns so far probably I've shot with. That's including everything. I mean, the semi-autos, revolvers, shotguns, rifles, all of them, the whole population of guns. Again, this is just my amateur view on this situation. Again, the core situation is how different, for an amateur especially, it can be. Two different guns, looks very similar, but it's not, as far as the results are concerned. And to be able to kind of give you some idea, some reference point, I will be showing you the results, my shooting results with you. So again, here, Smith & Wesson M&P9 M2.0. That's chambered for 9mm. It takes 15 rounds. Each magazine takes 15 rounds. And Glock19. I was then kind of thinking about 19X, but I ended up buying 19. A good size everyday carry compact gun also has 15 rounds. So let me start with, first off, I'm going to show different shooting results at different distances. And I want to show you, start with 15 feet distance. First, with I'm going to show you what the results with the Smith & Wesson and then the Glock. So here's the results. Can you see it better? Okay. This is the 15 feet results with my Smith & Wesson. And here is my Glock results at 15 feet with my Glock19. So that was one of the pairs that I wanted to share with you to kind of give some idea. And then there are other ones, 21 feet, for instance. Here's my 21 feet results with Smith & Wesson, and here's my same distance, 21 feet with Glock. There is another one I want to share with, and there's a little bit of interesting situation because we were going through drills, in the range. So this one is 21 feet again, just shooting back to back, like you just load up, right, and start shooting. And this one, I was there with my friend, who's actually a very good shooter and has been also training me. I've been tremendously benefiting from his military experience. So this one is 21 feet, but I was shooting on command. Like, I wasn't deciding when to shoot. I was waiting for command, and on command, I was shooting. So this is those two 21 feet distances. There's yet another 21 feet. And also here, my 15 feet results. And always keep in mind that the typical, especially the regarding the self-defense situations, the most common distance for real-life self-defense situations, according to police records, is anywhere between 0 to 10 yards, which is about 30 feet. So realistically speaking, I think it can be, the 0 is a person, an attacker, or assailant can be as close as, right up to your face. That makes it 0, right? And up to 30 feet. That is the most common distance for self-defense situations with a gun in real life conditions. So that's why I was practicing at various distances, 15 feet, 21 feet, 30 feet, and beyond sometimes. So this one is that. And there's that interesting one is my buddy was renting a gun, CZ, and I wanted to also shoot with that one. It was a single action gun, and that was also 21 feet with CZ. Not too bad. I really like that gun, actually. He wasn't happy with that. He just went ahead and changed it. He gave it back. There's yet another interesting, different kind of a combination. This is transition shooting. So basically, I was using, I don't know if it is visible now like that. Here, the transition shooting. Well, maybe I should do it like this. I was changing between this, and this. I can't show both at the same time. It's not, it's not really visible. So I was changing between this and that. The one with more holes in it was on the right hand side. This one was on the left hand side, so you can clearly see that I was favoring the right hand side at the same distance. Again, the distance was 15 feet. And the last pair is, actually it's not same distance. Again, another 21 feet. That is also with Smith & Wesson. And 30 feet. Again with Smith & Wesson. As you see, my grouping is getting enlarged as the distance go higher. So like I said, my my belief is I should be training for particularly those most common self-defense distances. Some of the shootings I do at 50 plus up to 75 feet. To me, I'm not really accurate with 75, and the goal is not, for instance, when I shoot at the 75, 50 to 75 or 60 to 75 feet distances, I don't actually intend or try to make a hole in this. As long as I can hit anywhere on this target, the whole paper, on this black area, I try to stay in the black. Hopefully I don't hit the white areas or flyers. Just try to stay within this black area, because this black area, if you do this, look at this. It is the center mass. Pretty much, the center mass. That's what we're trying to hit, right? So if I can do like, that's 30 feet, and I try the same thing with 45 feet. Okay, so not very happy, but I can improve on that. But I don't really train myself at 75, 60, 65, 75 feet distances, because to me it's beyond my, I would say, ability to be comfortable, accurate, and performing good at those distances, especially if you think, God forbid, if there's any kind of self-defense situation and you're under a lot of stress and adrenaline is basically running through, and you have a tunnel vision. With these kind of situations, everything suffers. The way you grip the gun, you take aim, and everything, everything changes. So to me, the most realistic training, because I believe I should be training for real life scenarios, and I think I would be most comfortable at distances between 21 to 30 feet. That range is my most, I think, comfortable range. So what is it that I was actually comparing? You just saw the results. The results that I was shooting at 21 feet, 15, 30 feet with these two guns. Smith & Wesson, Glock19. Again, Smith & Wesson M&P9 M2.0 and Glock19. If you look at them, both are kind of very compatible size-wise. The M&P is a little more compact, a little more compact, and pretty much a similar size. As far as an everyday carry, EDC, both are good guns. And if you ask anyone as you all know, Glock19 still is, has been a long time and still is, almost like anybody can swear by that. This is a wonderful gun. This is a beautiful gun. This is a perfect gun for everyday carry, which I'm not opposing to. This may be perfect gun for a lot of folks. I have no problem with that, but not for me. That's what I learned. That's what I wanted to share with you. This gun, however, much fame, as you all know, Glock19 is almost a benchmark gun, benchmark pistol for everyday carry, and a lot of people can swear by that, but not me. Again, because it's me. It just did not fit. And for some reason that I cannot explain, it could be a lot of factors or combination of factors. Maybe the grip angle. I think the grip angle on this one is, on the Smith & Wesson, is 18 degrees. The grip angle I'm talking about, right? This one. This is 18 degrees. And actually, grip angle on this one is also comparable, but somehow the ergonomics of the gun, the way you hold it, the beaver tail, the way you're wrapping the gun, the trigger, although the trigger weight, this one has a 5-pound approximately, 5-pound trigger weight. This is comparable. It's not necessarily a lot heavier or a lot lighter, in that range. But something in its structure, something in its ergonomic design, something whatever that is, I could not, there's no way I could put my finger on and say, because of this, I'm shooting a lot worse with this gun than this gun. But the results, and again, this is not only the targets that I was sharing with you, the results I was, these are only the last session in the range with my buddy. We were shooting together, and then we were basically carefully deciding what to do, kind of like a test environment with it, right? So, like I said, altogether with this, over 1,100 rounds I shot with, and most of those shots I was comparing against Glock. And I was to the point that I was totally shocked. Why is it that same person, same me, back to back I'm doing those shots, 9mm, and same distance, everything, and hugely different results? You saw the difference. There's one more gun I want to show you. Just a quick second, please. There's one more gun I want to share with you. Remember, I was showing you my 6-hour. This is P320. This one is a custom made combat version. You'll know the story with P320. There's lots of horror stories because of especially from police departments. There was lots of complaints to company 6-hour because in its holster with the round in the chamber, these guns were discharging without a command. What it's called is uncommanded discharge. And 6-hour to date, up until now, has been pretty much ignoring or fighting against these complaints, but they're to the point that they cannot be ignored anymore. I mean, there are so many of them, like I said, especially from various different police departments. Well, I am not in the habit of carrying a round in the chamber, so even if that's the case, that wouldn't be a problem for me because I don't carry around in a chamber. In fact, this is as you see, this is a full-size gun, and I don't carry this on me on an everyday carry basis. That wouldn't be, any problem at all. But I was still curious. I was just curious, and I watched a lot of videos about that problem, and I decided to test it. Like, say, you kind of create some kind of a simulation, like you drop it, you hit it, you drop from distance several times, and of course I wasn't doing it with a live round. I was using caps, and then I was using doing a lot of different kind of situation scenario simulations to make it go bang, right? This this problem, interestingly enough, did not happen to this gun. So obviously those officers who are, some of them were actually injured. So many people got injured, you know, because they were unaware and it was just discharging, right? Obviously, imagine that in your holster, it is discharging. Well, I tried this, didn't happen. But this is beside the point. That's not why I'm, you know, showing this and sharing with you. That was just because I was showing P320, I wanted to talk about that. What I was going to share with you is this. I compare this gun, my 6R P320, also with my Smith & Wesson M&P9. And again, keep in mind that one is a compact gun, which is my EDC, and one is a full-size gun, which I don't carry on a daily basis. In fact, I don't carry at all for the most part. This is my range gun. And I don't have the comparative results. I don't have, you know, like the targets that I was showing you. But, you know, I remember this. I came to the conclusion that I'm shooting pretty close with this gun to the results that I obtained when I was shooting with this Smith & Wesson. So I'm pretty happy with my 6R P320 as far as the accuracy. And I, again, did the similar things, not to the extent that I did against, with Glock, but I did very similar things. The different distances, like 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet, 40, 45, 50, all those different distances, and I compared, I put this down, I took the other one, I, you know, back and forth, just to see how consistent my results were. And I was consistently shooting with this close to my Smith & Wesson. So what does it tell me? What is it that I'm trying to share? I'm not trying to, obviously, I'm not, you know, no one is paying me for this, right? No one is paying me to say this is a wonderful gun, this is a shitty gun, whatever. That's not the case. My point is, again, to share with people that how different people are. Like I said, many people, that includes my buddy that we're shooting with in the range. He was shooting with that, and I'm going to show you his results. I want to show you his results. This is 50 to 60 feet distance. 35 total rounds. I think this is the Smith & Wesson. No, this is, I'm sorry, this is Glock. There you go. This is Glock. And same guy. Look at that. This is Smith & Wesson. And this is again Glock. So you can see there's basically no discernible difference. Look at this. There is no discernible difference between Smith & Wesson, look at the results, and Glock for this guy. Tiny little bit difference, you know. This buddy of mine, he's a very good friend of mine. I have to, if he watches this, you know, shout out to him. He's a good friend of mine. I really enjoy his company and everything, and he takes his time and effort, you know, to train me. So I truly appreciate what he's doing. I hope he watches that and he hears this. He is a retired U.S. Army Special Forces soldier. You probably don't need to hear a whole lot more to explain where this expertise is coming from. So he is an expert, but I'm not. So for an expert, I guess it's not making a whole lot of difference, whatever the gun, you know, or for the most part. But for an amateur like myself who's shooting, the monthly average of shooting, my shooting is about 300 to 400, sometimes hitting 500 a month. And you know, that is for an amateur. I'm not in competitions. I don't compete in IPDA competitions or 3-gun competitions. I'm not a hunter. I'm not in hunting, and I'm only in, you know, target shooting, and I enjoy my time in guns and shooting in the range. So I think I'm a perfect amateur, and you see the difference. But my point was, for an amateur especially, how much of a difference the gun ergonomics, gun design, everything from the grip structure, the grip angle, the trigger weight, the trigger reset point, break point, overall recoil. Lots of factors come into play and eventually makes that kind of a huge variance between two different guns. This is what I was meaning to share with you guys on this video. Thank you very much for watching my video. Stay safe. I hope we see each other again in another video. Take care and bye bye.